Who was James Weir? James Weir, your ancestor, one of your ancestors, was born in Ireland in 1801, died in Texas in 1875. Now, James came to America at the age of 35. Lucky for him, he was heir to a bachelor uncle who had made a fortune in Kentucky. So James Weir comes over and inherits this property, land, and assets of this uncle, and he ends up marrying Frances Bell Berry. I'll try to attach the lineage so that you guys know who he is in relation. Now, don't make the mistake of assuming he was Irish. He was not Irish, he was Scotch-Irish. Now, there's a big difference. So, in fact, almost everybody in your family tree that has their birthplace as Ireland is not Irish, and they would not appreciate being called Irish back then. They were Scotch-Irish. Now, we call them Scotch-Irish in America. They would have called, back over there, they call them Ulster Scots. These are these are Scots who moved into the northern part of Ireland to the area called Ulster under what was called the Ulster Plantation. It was just this big movement. I don't really want to go into it. I'm not knowledgeable enough about it. I don't know, maybe I'll try and bone up on it a little bit before I do a video on it. But basically, just understand that Scotch-Irish are not Irish. They would not appreciate being called Irish. They were Scotsmen, and they just happened to be coming from the northern part of Ireland, and most of your descendants, or most of your ancestors that are from that region, are Scotch-Irish. Now, his name was Weir, which was originally de Weir. And there was a Weir clan of Scotland, which he descends from. So the Weir clan of Scotland was originally called de Weir. Sounds French, right? Okay, yes, it does. I doubt that it's Huguenot in the way that we discussed Huguenots before. So de Weir is an old Norman name. Now this is where you just have to, as you chip away at this stuff, you just cause yourself to have to chip away at more. So a lot of the Scottish clan names sound French because they actually are Normans. So the Normans conquered England in the 11th century, 1066. William the Conqueror came and conquered England, Battle of Hastings, that whole thing. He conquered England over in that time. Now, who were the Normans? The Normans were French. Yes and no. So Normandy is an area of France so named because back before this time, Norse Vikings, came over that body of water and basically invaded and started settling that northern area of France, which would later be called Normandy after the Norse Vikings. So the area called Normandy, which is where the Norse would come from that would then invade England later, they had a very different, they were very different from the rest of France. So that's where the de Weir name came from, which would then later become Weir, which was a Scottish clan. And you will hear, if you ever look up the name of the major Scottish clans, you'll see that a lot of them have kind of a French sounding name, and that's because of the Normans conquering England in the 11th century.